Methane in water. Yes, you can light water on fire. This is not a trick. It actually can happen. It's an invisible hazard that actually could be in your well water. Methane in drinking water isn't just rare, it's something that's been extremely rare, but recently it's becoming much more common, especially where there's drilling and fracking that is going on. There are certain parts of the Chicagoland area that actually do have methane in the water, and it's not just a fire hazard, but it's also can be a health hazard. Most people don't even know they really have this, but what is the real danger? Well, it's that people have bubbling in their water or air spitting when they live on a private well, and they don't really understand that there's a hidden danger sitting there until it's way too late. So let's talk about how methane contamination and how you can start to uncover whether or not your house has methane in the water. Okay, so we just mentioned that you could have air spitting. So the very first indication that you have methane in your water is going to be whether or not, hopefully you have a 2-story house, and on the 2nd story, there's times that you go to turn on the water faucet and it starts to spit at you. And you're like, what is causing that? There's something wrong with our well. And maybe you've had a well guy out and they say, oh, there's nothing wrong with the well. Or maybe you haven't. But methane is the buildup of this gas that actually can be in your water. And so when you turn on that faucet in the master bath or upstairs sink, you'll get this air spitting. That's our first sign. Now, it's usually at that faucet that you can probably use a lighter first thing in the morning and actually see if you see a flame come out. Yeah, it's not just a party trick, but it is an effective way to test for it. The other way to test for it is to take a full gallon, the milk carton that's plastic, fill it halfway up with that water. As you see that milky water come out of your faucet, put the cap on it, drill a hole, 1/4-inch hole through the top of that lid, and then slowly squeeze that milk bottle with a lighter at that 1/4-inch hole. And as you squeeze that air, as you let that bubbling, that air, that gray water turn clear, that means that methane has now escaped up into that cavity. And then as you squeeze that bottle, it actually allows you to light that on fire, and boom, you get to have a little bit of flame there. It's not, I haven't had any problems with that. I've done it many, many times. One time it was not working, and as I sat there, I said, well, maybe you don't have, and all of a sudden, boom! Actually, the whole carton exploded, but it just exploded with water, nothing more. It did scare the customer, and we then defined for sure that they have methane in their water. So that will help you identify that you have a serious issue with your water. Now, depending on where you live, it can mean different things. What we've noticed in some of the areas we've dealt with is that it's decomposing plant and animal life. So as a result, yes, there's some things in the water. Like we see E. coli happen in almost every single well we've ever tested that has methane. So do yourself a favor, test your water. Can't tell you how important it is. It's so incredibly important that you test your water. Now, that you want to test it for E. coli and coliform, 2 different bacteria that can give you really bad stomach aches. Maybe you could get sick, your children could get sick. So you definitely want to be testing for coliform or E. coli. Now, we also have had clients that were in other states, Tennessee and Kentucky for others, and they were doing fracking. So as I gave this example to a client, they had that flame come out, and it scared them quite unbelievably, even though they said it's a great party trick. But the thing is I said to them, you really need to go find out if they're fracking in your neighborhood. And if they are, there is a certain law that allows them to use unknown chemicals when fracking the earth. So you want to do your homework and do a full water test. We did that for the client. He was complaining of being tired every time he went to his vacation home. He didn't feel good down there. He was lethargic. And it was an amazing situation, because his well in Chicagoland didn't have it, but that one down there did. And as he did that test, it was off the chart with things like toluene, which is a byproduct of petroleum. So he had a home that for years had very nice water, but because of the fracking that was being done in his neighborhood, he had water that was really bad. This gave him the information in the water testing to go to the corporation and to the city, and he did get some remedies on that. But it's very important that you test your water with an EPA certified laboratory. Now, the whole thing is that this whole concept of methane in your water, we wanted to educate you on. It is rare. Most of the time it's first seen when you fill up a jug of water or a glass of water and you see gray water, and then the bubbles sort of bubble out, and then you're like, oh, now it's clear. What is that? Or you notice a sour stomach or diarrhea, or you're having flu-like symptoms. That also can be the indicator that you have this problem paired with that bubbling. Almost always we've seen that gray water come out of the faucet and have that bubbling that dissipates. So if you live on well water and you have that issue, always feel free to reach out to us. By the way, if you know anyone on well water that could benefit from this video, please press like, share this video. We would love it if you just share this with your friends and family if you live on well water, because well water can confuse people, especially if they have that gray water in a clear glass of water. Now, again, it's a little rare to have this happen, but hopefully this gives you enough information so you become educated. If you want to learn more, if you have any further questions, you can call us at 847-382-7800. You can reach us at angelwater.com, because as you know, we're totally passionate about helping people save money and be more healthy. Along that line, my name is Drew, and I'm here to serve you.